Everybody, welcome to my review of Reborn Book 1 by Mark Millar, Greg Capullo, Jonathan Glapion, and FCO Placencia. So, what is this about? This is a trade paperback. This is collecting Reborn Book 1, 6 issues from Image Comics. And this is basically a fantasy book. There's no superhero stuff in here, although Mark Millar and Greg Capullo do a lot of superhero stuff. So, I was pleasantly surprised that he's done something different. So I picked this up for a nice price, and I read it just a couple of minutes ago, and I want to talk about it. So what is this all about? So this is basically, I'm not sure, why is Netflix in here? I don't get it. So it's basically, well, the beginning is that people are getting killed by a sniper for non-known reasons yet. And then we see a person waking up somewhere. And that person is waking up in, well, not on Earth. So he says, what the hell? And he's also young. I'm going to tell you what's happening. So we skip a little bit. And then we see here the main protagonist is called Barbara Black. What? Is it Black? Let me double check. Real quick. Yes, Bonnie Black. Sorry. Bonnie Black. Barbara Black. Bonnie Black. And, well, she was the husband of this man called Harry who was killed. And then later her dad was killed in an accident. And then her mother, stricken with grief, died also later. So she has been getting old and basically she is at the end of a life cycle, and her daughter's comforting her. But Bonnie is scared, scared what's happened on the other side. And she has also a friend, and her friend also died not long ago. And but her friend was, Estelle was very religious, and she was anxious to meeting God and her husband, who also died. And then what happens, she's getting a stroke, and what happens is she's going to surgery, and then she sees her life flashes before her eyes, before waking up here in a completely different land. And we see here strange flying vehicles, and there's someone who's saving her. And she's completely, shocked for the moment. And it shows that she is not really dead or in heaven or in whatever afterlife. No, she is, in a magical sci-fi fantasy land. And she's meeting her dad, because her dad was expecting her to come. And so how does that happen? Well, nobody knows. But it's been prophesied that Bonnie is coming to this land to save everyone. She is basically the chosen one. And she is also 25 now. So she is not sick anymore. She's just, being a young woman. The whole point is that everybody who dies comes here first. So we don't know if there's an afterlife after this one, because people can still die. But they are, coming young, old, as a baby, or like I said, middle, 24, 35. It's very unpredictable. So they're going basically, it's beautiful, look at this. So they go basically to a town, and she's meeting all these new people. And these people know her. They are, her friends, her neighbors, her kids from school. So everybody knows her. But there is a terrible evil in this land. And there are evil forces wants to, overthrow the whole land and become, the most powerful kingdom in the land, etc. You know the whole story. It's not really a very difficult story to follow. I like the visuals, by the way, but I'm coming back a little bit later. So what's going on? So Bonnie thinks, hey, well, if everybody's here, then my husband, Harry, must be here too. but Harry is not in this town. So people ask her, "Hey, if you're gonna stop, we need to stop the evil army that's coming here, and we need your help." And she says, "No, no, 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 no. I'm gonna search for Harry first. So I come back. Give me 1 month, and then I'm come back, and I'm gonna help you." And basically, this is, by the way, her small dog, who is a giant now. So Bonnie and her father goes on a quest, and she's getting a magical sword, and they're gonna, search for Harry. But before they do that, they need to visit a fairy queen because they can help her. But surprise, surprise, great looking book, absolutely. It's I'm skipping a few pages. Give me a second. This is the fairy queen, but it's basically her friend from when she was old, and she's now a fairy. No, well, I'm not say godmother, but more of a queen. But what happened? Stell is not the same person that Bonnie knew because she was, like I said, very religious. But instead, going to heaven to her husband, she came here and she realized that everything that she had learned when it comes to God, when it comes to heaven and hell, and everything that they are teaching her when it comes to religion was all a lie. It's a fake. So she's bitter, and she realized that her husband, who came here before when they died, he came here as an old man, and he died before she came here. So she doesn't want to be a friend. She doesn't want to help her, and she basically, teleports her away. And so resolution problems again. Sorry. So and then we go switch to the bad guy, and the bad guy is what's his name? Let me double check. Lord Golgotha. And there's a story behind that, and I'm going to reveal that a little bit later. So a little bit spoilers if you don't, read this comic. And we there have this cat person, but it reveals that this cat person is her former cat, Bonnie's cat. And he said, "My testicles was removed when I was 9 months old." So he hates her and he wants her dead. And he's some kind of general or a subordinate or a soldier for Lord Golgotha, and he sent him away to kill her. So skipping a few pages again, skip, skipping a lot. So at some point she's getting captured, and she's been hold here and on some giant tree trunk, whatever you call it, and Frost or General Frost is, "Hey, hold her for me. I'm going to get her," because there's, let's say they are in the evil lands. And in the evil lands, there are butchers, murderers, rapists, thieves. So the bad guys go to there and the good guys go to the other side, to the light. So it's basically very black and white. But persons who are very good, extremely good, help each other, have a good heart, and in real life, is becoming very powerful in this fantasy world. That's why Bonnie is called the chosen one. And Lord Golgotha is the evil one because he did a lot of evil things. But then what I have is a problem with some of the writing. Because Bonnie says suddenly, "Hey, listen, Dad, just because the chains don't break doesn't mean the pillow won't." So what does that mean? Well, of course, it means that they are surprised, going escape. But how does Bonnie know that? Because Bonnie does not know that her dad could do that. Bonnie does not know that her dad has, super strength or something. But she is learning. The longer that she is in this world, the more knowledge automatically comes to her, and she's more attuned with her powers, with her abilities. Although I must say, through the whole book, I don't see any special powers except that she's nimble and quick and strong, etc., but not, special. But hey, And that's a little bit a recurring theme. So okay, so I'm, you know what? Okay, she probably knows that, so I forgive her that. The problem with that I have with Barbara is that is or sorry, Bonnie is, although she is just, coming from the real world into this fantasy world, she never is really shocked by what's going on in the world. We have flying cars, we have science fiction, we have talking animals, we have dragons, we have lions, we have big dogs. We are in a, like I said, a fantasy world. It's not that she is, amazed or shocked or what's the word? Uh, I'm forgetting the word. What I'm trying to say, that she is, um, now, yeah, like I said before, if I'm going to a fantasy world after I'm dead and I'm 25 again, man, I'm looking my eyes all over again and being shocked and amazed constantly because I don't know what this world is. I've never seen a flying lion dragon before. I never seen, these weird vehicles like this one, talking animals. Never seen that before. But Bonnie says, yeah, okay, well, that's okay, that's good, it's cool. Like it's the normal thing to do, and like she has always been here, and it's never getting explained. So they're escaping, and they are, moving on. And like I said, Greg Capullo's art, man, it's freaking fantastic. I really love the art. They did a bang up job, and you say, okay, there's some visceral violence here. No, not really. Yeah, there's just some blood splatters, but this is a cover from the fourth book, and this is probably one of the few images that you see when it comes to bloody violence. So yeah, so it goes on and on a little bit, and they are escaping, and they getting captured again, and they are coming to a certain place, and they are getting sacrificed. And the sacrifice means that if you sacrifice a person, the mountain where the evil guy lives is getting stronger, and the power is getting stronger somehow. So they need to sacrifice her, but people can make a wish, but the wish is always bad. It's never in their favor. So then General Kitty Cat, that's how I call him, General Frost, comes and said, hey, listen, I'm going to kill you and I'm going to enjoy it. And but then Bonnie says, I'm going to make a wish. I wish you were all dead. I make a black wish, and I wish you all dead. And he says, oh no. And then this happens. Really freaking cool. The problem is, for me anyway, it's over too soon. There's no battle. There's just one wish. Everybody's dead in a couple of seconds. Then we move on with the story. And the story is more like, searching. And I must say, like I said before, the art is freaking fantastic. It's very cool. And then Golgotha says, is going to make a device. And to make a device, he wants to breach the, how do you say, the wall between whatever world this is into the living, and he needs blood to do that. So you see here a pool of blood with bodies, and the more blood from the good guys is in this pool, the more powerful the machine will be, to open the rift, basically. Yeah. Also, this is a funny part. Well, this is the dragon lion I told, and she is a lover of Kolkata, which is very funny. So I'm not sure how that works physically, but hey, who am I to judge, right? So skipping a few pages, so she's looking for her husband, and she's finding the village destroyed where her husband's supposed to live because they found him somehow, and Bonnie is rushing to everybody's aid there. And it seems that he is being kidnapped by the evil forces, and they want her to rescue him because everybody knows that he is the savior of the world. And but what happens? Harry, who died when he was young, found another woman and has kids with her. And yeah, well, Bonnie is a little bit in shock. She said, "Could you leave me alone for a second?" And then she just turned around and says to the kids, "Hey, I'm going to find your dad, and don't worry, and I'm going to do my best." And he said, "Oh, Bonnie, you did always the right thing." Um, I'm coming back to this part a little bit again, not the whole doing the right thing, but what's happening here. So they're gonna, go to the evil guy's lair, and then it reveals that Harry is in change and that the evil guy is basically the one that killed him. Yes, yes, because he remembers that he killed him in the very first page here. And we don't know who's Golgotha is. More that he is a some kind of serial killer, or I don't know, some psychopath, and he wants to kill only people. And then before the cops come, he kills himself, and then he wakes up in the magical world as the evil guy, which gives him strength. And so Bonnie is coming over, and everybody is there, and they are leaving her alone to how do you say, for the final battle or something. But then the lion soars into the air and then attacks her. But then before he hits her, because this lion is very big, of course, the fairy tale godmother intervenes, and she is basically going to help her. So there's going to be a battle between Golgot and Father and Bonnie. And the battle is okay-ish. It's very short. Bonnie hesitates, getting kicked in the pool of blood, and he is drowning her, basically. And then he did it. He drowns her, but then she comes back in real life somehow, and she said, "No, I don't want to be here. I need to go back." And the evil guy is Golgotha is kicking her asses, her father's ass, etc. Then out of nowhere, she comes back alive. And, I'm not going to spoil the ending. That would be a little bit, that's not a good thing. So I'm not going to spoil that. The fairy godmother died, goes to heaven, and finds eventually her husband. So she has a nice ending. And Bonnie, delivers Harry to her new girlfriend that he has been there for 9 years in this magic world. And then, okay, this is the problem. A little bit. So she's real happy for him. Okay, so wait a minute. You going through freaking thin to how do you say, risk your own life to find this guy that you are so in love with, and then, oh yeah, no, that's okay. Go back to your wife. I'm okay. I don't have any sad feelings. I'm not depressive that I lost you again. And then her father says something shitty as well. Oh, by the way, Bonnie, I never liked Harry. I always thought he was a kind of an asshole, and you don't deserve him. There's more fish in the world. Blah blah blah. Oh man, that pisses me off a little bit. I mean, why say that? It just and she said, "Hey, are you saying that to feel to make me feel better?" No. I just really don't like him. He's kind of a dick. Really. That's how it ends, and she's perfectly okay with that. And then suddenly, hey, welcome back. Are you ready to get on the throne and be our protector? Oh yeah, absolutely, sure. And this is the end. Yes, okay. End of book 1. And then we have some nice art here by Greg Capullo. A little bit, not much. Looks great, absolutely. Is it worth it? Yes. But from my perspective, it's a little bit, the story is a little bit too simple, I think. There's a lot of going on. Bonnie is never in real danger. Yes, at the end, she's getting her ass, Jesus Christ. She's getting her ass kicked. Sorry, bad English. But for the rest of the book, she's pretty much invincible, and she is not really even in much of a combat. And she has special powers, but it never reveals what her special powers is, except that she's good or something. So, for my opinion, it's a little bit too on the safe side. It's still great. It looks fantastic. I mean, Greg Capullo and Mark Millar did a. When it comes to story, yes, it's cool, but it's not groundbreaking, and that's a shame, because they can do so much more with this story. And I mean, they could raise the stakes a little bit higher, but they don't do that, because Bonnie was never in my opinion, real danger. Yes, she is, being captured, but she is escaping very easily. She never gets, has a bloody face or getting punched in the face or getting stabbed. Not that it is necessarily, but I don't like being a protagonist, being ultra strong, getting her ass kicked, and then miraculously appearing to save the day. I mean, the stakes needs to be higher, and that's unfortunately not the case. But overall, I had my money's worth. It's like I said, it's a good-looking book, good quality. The art is great, a lot of pages. So yeah, I recommend it. Reborn Book 1. By the way, I don't have any information if Book 2 is coming. Probably not. Well, it doesn't have to be, because this is a standalone book. Everything is in here. Yeah, that's the end of the video. I'm a little bit disappointed, by the way. I'm like I said, I want you to like this book, and I had some fun, but maybe my expectations were a little bit too high. So thanks for watching, guys. Share, like my video. Yeah, and I'll see you next time.